Hi everyone, welcome back to the channeling series. And today I want to talk about um, a message again from that money energy, Laxmi energy that I'm getting for all of you. And I feel like today something around emotions and spending is coming up, right? So I think the next series would be around different techniques that I've gathered over the years, right? That you can all use, like small techniques, right? That you can just use every day, pick and choose. Like there is a 369 technique, there is a 555 technique, there is, writing a love letter to money, right? So I'll probably make different videos every day on them and create a playlist for all of you, right? So maybe the next one can be that, because I'm just getting this message that you probably are in need or want to experiment in that you're in that experiment mode. So probably this series will help all of you, right? So for today, whoever lands on this video today, the message is that somewhere emotionally you are using money to feel better, right? To feel like if you're feeling low, you're using money so that you can stop feeling low. So there is an emotional use of money, right? And every time you look at money, right? Money energy is actually telling you every time you use money emotionally without awareness, without consciousness, you end up losing more, right? Because what happens is that when we are in that state, right, emotionally low, we actually tend to not utilize money or spend money in a way that can be beneficial to us, right? Like in the long run, right? And I'm not saying you need to be constantly aware, but you need to be able to understand the patterns of spending money emotionally, right? And once you do that, right, like I always say, awareness will help you heal the pattern, right? And the moment you break that pattern, you'll obviously heal that pattern. You will start to heal, right? So, um, if you're still not understanding whether or not this is something that you do, so think of when you're feeling a little emotionally disturbed, right? Not even low, just a little off, right? And then you go on Amazon and you look at things and you start buying, right? You go on various apps, right? You buy some clothes, you look at jewelry, right? You go on Zomato, or you go on various apps again, and you start thinking of what food to order and all of that, right? Now, and when you do that, when you buy that, you feel better, start to feel a little better, in the sense of relief. Yeah. So that means that your spending is emotionally driven, right? So what happens is that, and like I said, you'll start to lose money, right? You'll start to also not bring in that awareness, right? And now, so what do you need to do if this is happening, right? There are certain things that you can do to start um, mm, keeping a watch, right? And the moment we bring that into awareness, things start to come in control, especially if it's happening around this. That's how basically the money energy is saying that it's getting, there is a leakage in the system, in your emotional setup, and you can fix it. It's as simple as that, right? So you don't have to go into any guilt, any shame, any other kind of emotion to feel to feel like like you're blaming yourself. No, right? It's just bringing awareness to this habit of yours. And some things you can do is, number one, you need to just start training yourself now in a different direction. You've been trained in a certain direction. You think emotionally you have to start doing this, and you see these patterns in your life. Now you need to train yourself to do something different, right? Number one is, every time you feel like this urge to spend, right, you delay it. Okay. So what do? You get this urge of going to Amazon and just buying whatever. Wait 72 hours. Wait 72 hours before you buy something. So what I actually do is, I go on Amazon, and if there is something that I want to buy, generally I don't buy it right then, right? Because emotionally speaking, every time you'll feel like there's an urgency, right? But that's not true, right? So I never buy something right away unless it's very, you don't even think about the price point and it's something very cheap or whatever, right? And it's you've already planned for it, so that's different. But if there is an emotional impulse, you don't really need it, right? And how can you say you don't really need it if you have clothes with sometimes even tags, right, lying around, right? If you have certain items that you haven't even used and it's just there for a year, right? And if you have piles of those, then this means that you are buying on impulse, you're not even using them, right? So, like I said, go on Amazon if you want something, and I always add to cart and then I save it for later, right? There's an option there, save it for later. Um, and generally, whatever I save for later, I end up deleting it later, right? Like maybe after a few days, I don't feel like buying it anyway, right? So that actually helps you bring awareness in this process of spending money and build a relationship with this money energy, right? And then you spend money in places where money will grow. That's where you're bringing this awareness in, right? And the second thing is finding an alternative, right? Every time you have this urge, first of all, you need to bring this urge into awareness, right? When that feeling is coming in, right? Before spending, okay, something is happening. What else can I do? What's an alternative? You can go for a walk. Yeah. You can make a healthy drink for yourself, right? Like, so sometimes now I have this amla and some aloe vera, whatever drink, and it takes a few minutes for me to actually stand in the kitchen and make it, right? So nowadays, when I'm like too busy or I'm too scattered, I actually go and just make that drink, and it brings awareness. It brings me in the moment, it brings me in the present, and it actually has become a very healing ritual for me every day, right? So find ways in which you can actually come back to the here and now. Go for a walk, right? Do deep breathing, right? Box breathing, whatever. So find that, okay? What will happen is eventually when you bring in more and more awareness in your relationship with money, you will start to disconnect money with your emotional um like it'll emotional drive or emotional sense, right? You'll disconnect that with money because you don't want that. You want to spend money, you want to build a relationship with money with awareness, not on that emotional instability, right? Or volatile emotions. No. Yeah. So I hope today's message resonated with all of you. I will be back tomorrow, and like I said, I think I'll start the series tomorrow or day after. I'll come back nonetheless with another message for the day. Signing off, Anisha, that's from Zaria Healings.